Hello everyone. Now we are going to learn about what is hydrological cycle. This module is a part of Unit 3 in your paper Plant Ecology and Phytogeography. I am Ms. Eldrika Frida Di Costa, Assistant Professor in Botany at Government College of Arts, Science, Commerce, Kepe. The outline to this presentation, we are going to learn about hydrological cycle and the significance of hydrological cycle. Learning outcomes understands the hydrological cycle and explains the types of hydrological cycles. Coming to the introduction. Now, we all know that water is essential to all forms of life. It is one of the most important climatic factors. It affects physiology and morphology of all organisms. In combination with other factors, it also regulates the structure and distribution of plant communities. Now let us see what is a hydrological cycle. The continuous circulation of water between the atmosphere and the Earth's surface is known as the hydrological cycle. The energy for driving this cycle and ensuring a constant supply of fresh water on land comes from the main source of energy, that is the sun. Moving on to the types of hydrological cycles. We have two types of hydrological cycle. The first one is the global water cycle. The second is the biological water cycle. Coming to the first type, that is the global water cycle, it is controlled by physical processes involving no life. That means there is no life form which is involved in this particular process. The steps involved in global water cycle are: the first one is evaporation, which is the evaporation of water into gaseous form, wherein the liquid form is converted to the gaseous form. Also, we have another process or step which is called as the evapotranspiration. Now, this process is where the water from the plants is converted into gaseous form by a process called as transpiration. The second step involved here is condensation, which is the conversion of gaseous form to liquid form. The third step involved is precipitation. In this process, we have the liquid form or the solid form of condensed matter which will be coming back to the ground or the earth's surface. And the last step, the fourth step that we have is percolation, which is the seeping of water into the ground through porous substances. Now you can see the water cycle here. The first step that you can see here is the evaporation. The water from water bodies is evaporated, and then this water or the gas which is formed would be condensed, and that would be precipitated in the form of rain or snow, hail, dew, etc. And then the precipitated water would be again percolated into the ground. You can also see that there is a process of transpiration, which is from the trees the water is evaporated into the atmosphere. Moving on to the next type of water cycle, we have the biological water cycle. Now, this cycle is controlled by biological processes and it involves life forms. Most of the aquatic animals obtain water from their surroundings, and they return it to the surrounding medium through excretion and decomposition. Terrestrial organisms obtain the water from fresh source or in the form of food. They in turn return the water into their surrounding through excretion and decomposition after their death. Plants play a very important role in the water cycle. They absorb water from soil with the help of roots. They also retain some amount of water in their body and give out the rest in the form of water vapor during transpiration. The remaining amount of water is retained to the environment after their death and decomposition. Let us now see what is the importance of water cycle. Water cycle provides water to plants and animals. The evaporation of water helps in purifying the water, and it also helps cool down plant and animal bodies. It also helps regulate weather processes and also helps in regulating the climate. Moving on to the references for this module, we have the first one, which is Textbook for Environmental Studies by Iraq Barucha, published by the Universities Press. The second is Botany for Degree Students, Plant Ecology and Taxonomy by B.P. Pandey, published by S. Chand and Company Limited. The third one we have is a textbook of plant ecology, the 12th edition of it, by R. S. Shukla and P. S. Chandal. The publication is by S. Chand and Company Limited. The fourth reference we have is Environmental Biology, the second edition of it, by P. S. Verma and V. K. Agarwal. It is also published by S. Chand and Company Limited. Thank you.